As most of you know, a few weeks ago I went down to Cabo San Lucas for Thor's bachelor party, which was a lot of fun. And a couple of interesting things happened that I can share. Most of it's like bachelor party stuff that, you can't really share or that I wasn't really a part of. So I'm not going to share those stories. And a lot of them were already told on the air. But there's a couple of things that I'm pretty sure that haven't been shared that I thought was some of the best parts of the trip. First off, I'm going to share the story of going sports fishing, which was awesome, and the story of me saving somebody's life. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So that is correct. You did hear that correctly. Technically, I'm a hero. Now, I wouldn't call myself a hero, except I will totally because technically it is correct. But it's a weird story. It's kind of a very, very silly, ridiculous situation. But I'll let you see what you guys think. Maybe. I mean, I know I did I know I did the right thing because, somebody's not dead or is not in the situation where they could have died thanks to me. But I'll get into that in a minute. Before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario SDW and at Super Dario World on Instagram. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. So let's get into this. Let's go. And by the way, I'm gonna just put like a bunch of stuff in the background here, so you can see it. Switch it out. Like you see a little bit. I took a bunch of pictures, and I'll probably just be going through the pictures most of the video. But just so you can see where we're staying. I don't know why this video came out like really ugly. Actually, let me take the audio out of that. Whoops. Let me see, because that was way too loud. At least in my ears. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Why can I still hear you? Shut up. Okay. So yeah, so just you can see where we stayed. The place was super nice, by the way, and we got really lucky. So first off, the trip was extremely lucky for me most of the time, mainly because what was gonna happen is that I was gonna share a room with two other guys that also drank. 'Cause I guess I should go from the beginning. So we were going for Thor's bachelor party. And Thor, for those of you who don't know, is a member of the show on Rock 105.3. And Thor's a sober guy, and most of his friends are sober. So most of the people going on this trip are sober. There was 4 people who drank. Me, Eddie, and 2 other guys. The other 2 other guys and I decided we're going to share a room. And we got a room, like a double bed and a couch and everything. It was fine. So I decided that I got my flights to go. Let's say everything started on Thursday, and so I had my flight for Thursday night, and then it was an all-inclusive hotel, and I decided, you know what? Why am I paying like for an extra day that I'm not even gonna be there? Like if I arrive at Thursday night, that means that I'm gonna miss a whole day of the all-inclusive thing. And when I get there at night, it's going to be like 10, 11, 12. The restaurants are going to be closed. The bars are going to be closed. And so I'm not going to get my money's worth. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to switch it. And I decided to go a night early. So I used the Holiday Inn for $20. I managed to switch my flight to the night before. And I stayed at a hostel, and it was fun because I got to, explore the town a little bit, meet some weirdos at a hostel. Fun stuff. And so after that, the next day, I go to the hotel. And by the way, the flight was great because I had the whole aisle to myself, so I got to lay down and sleep because I was also a late flight. And the next day I arrived at the hotel, and it's like, I don't know, 11 a.m. and they tell me, yeah, we can't. Well, first off, your check-in is at 3 p.m. It's fine, you can check in now. We'll hold on to your bags and stuff, but really we can't give you the wristband, the all-inclusive wristband, until it's like until noon. So you gotta like kill an hour and then or pay for drinks for an hour, and then you can come here and we'll see if your room's ready. Also, and so I was like, all right, that's fine. They're like, also, by the way, we're gonna give you a free upgrade. So all right, cool. So we got a free upgrade, which was awesome. And then they give us the room, and the room looked like this. So you can see I'm like the video there. It's a quick walkthrough. So it's really nice. It's really big. The view's fantastic. The water over there, it's just so, it's a blue that's fantastic. I know it doesn't look as well here because for some reason when I recorded into this software, it looks a little bit darker, but it looks really good on my phone. It looks really good in person, but whatever, doesn't matter. So we got the upgrade. I told the other guys because now we got a bigger room. Now we got a lot more. It's a lot closer to other stuff. So it was great, free upgrade. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and hang out at the beach because I'm gonna go check out other stuff at the hostel. I don't know why they did that. Let me see if I can fix it. Done. I'm just gonna go and check out other stuff around the hotel. So basically, I started exploring, And in my explorations, I started noticing that there's a bunch of like reptiles all throughout the hotel. These are like rock iguanas, so I was like really excited, like trying to record them. They said that they're friendly. You're not supposed to touch them, but they are friendly. I found another one here, and they have like flamingos and stuff. It's all really cool. And as I'm exploring the hotel, I noticed that at the bar they have a jar with a snake on it, and the lady was doing something with it. I was like, what the hell are you doing with this jar with the snake? Because a friend of mine has this in his house, but he has like a jar with a snake on it, but he also has scorpions and stuff. We call it, tequila la víbora. And his has some more stuff, but here, like, oh no, this is sotol. And for those of you who don't know, sotol is basically tequila, but from Chihuahua. Basically the same thing. I don't care what anybody says. It's basically what it is. Anyway, and so like I said, I was enjoying my time. I killed an hour, and then I got the all-inclusive thing, and I was ready to roll. I'm just sitting there, hanging out, having some drinks, and enjoying my vacation time. Great, right? Everything is perfect so far. The other guys show up, and when the other guys show, by the way, I don't really have a picture for this. I'm just gonna go back to the first video so you can just see where I was. Like, I was at the beach. And while I'm at the beach, we notice, as you can see, well, if you can see it here on the video, the water gets really steep really quickly. So it goes, the beach over there, for some reason, it gets, it's like it's all leveled, and all of a sudden, boom, it takes like a deep dive. Usually in the water here in San Diego, you step on the water, and it gets to your ankles, and then it goes a little bit higher, and then it goes to your knees, and then it goes to your waist, and then it goes, to your belly button. Here, in Cabo, you step, the water's in your feet, and your water's at your waist one step forward. Like, it went deep really fast. And so the water is kind of like sucking at you, and the sand is a little bit porous, so it's almost like kind of like quicksandish. So it pulled you down. So that first step is really dangerous. Once you're in it, you're fine. But that first step is kind of like dangerous in a way. So I was hanging out at the beach. One of the guys arrived, Zach. I'll probably show you pictures of him throughout at one point. I have a picture here. I can just show you a picture of Zach. Give me a sec. So that is, let me see. Damn it. Did I delete all the pictures of Zach? No. Okay, so this would be Zach. He's like a big dude. Anyway, so we're there, and we're hanging out at the beach. We're at the water, and I'm looking to my left. And at my left, I see an old lady. And by old lady, I mean like in her 70s and not exactly thin. And so not in great shape, but and she's right at the edge of the water. So she's in the shore, and she's on the ground. Like, imagine a seal. Like, imagine like a sea lion, like on the water, like right at the edge. And it looks like she's trying to get out, and the waves keep hitting on her, and it kind of like pulls her back, so she can't really get out. But she doesn't really appear to be panicking either. She's just like appears to be uncomfortable. And so I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I think that lady needs help. It looks like that woman is in need of assistance. And so I look around to see if anybody else noticed this, because I mean, you can see there's a lot of people at the beach, and nobody really seems to care. And so I'm looking at her, and I'm like, well, she's not screaming for help. She doesn't appear to be like in panicking or anything. She just appears to be really uncomfortable on the shore, getting hit on by waves and being sucked down by the sand. And I'm like, should I do something? Like, I don't know. Like, this is weird. And so I yell out at her like, hey, you okay? and she kind of looks at me, and nothing. She doesn't say anything. Like, do you need help? Nothing. No reaction. Do you need help? Nada. And I yelled in English and in Spanish. And so I'm like, well, she's not saying anything, but I think she needs help. And so I walk out towards her. I'm standing right next to her. I see her in the water getting hit by it. Like, imagine, I'm like less than a foot away. I'm looking at her. I bend down. I'm like, do you need help? Are you okay? And she's just looking at me. And it's like, but it's this look of kind of like silent desperation and stuff. And I'm like, I think I should help, but at the same time, I don't want to be the guy who touches somebody's grandma and then, gets beat up at the beach at the start of his vacation. I don't want to be that guy, because that guy looks like an idiot. So I'm like, what do I do? So I decided, you know what? It's more important to to save this lady's life, because it looks like she needs help, then for me, you know, to not look like an idiot in case, you know, or get in trouble in case I actually do get in trouble. So I decided, you know, I bend down, like I put my arm, I extended my arm out to her, and she grabs me immediately, like with desperation. I was like, okay, she really needed help. And I'm trying to pull her out, but I can't. Like the sand is it's really sucking her in, and it started to suck me in now. So the best I could do is just keep her, you know, from sinking a little bit more, and from the water to hitting her really hard. And so I yell out at Zach, like, Zach, get over here. And he's like, what? Like, just get over here. And so he walks up towards us, and he looks at me, and he's like, does she need help? And I'm like, yeah, dude, come on, she's drowning. And he's like, in the shore? Like, he's looking around like, really? In the shore? So we both thought it was weird. Eventually, he grabs her other arm, we pull her out, and then when that, she kind of like spits a little bit of water and clears sand and whatever, so that's why she wasn't really talking. And she's like, oh, thank you very much, blah, blah. And so like, oh yeah, well, that, we saved this lady's life. So who knows? She probably could have gone out by herself, but she didn't. We pulled her out, so technically we're heroes. So there you go. I'm wearing that badge for the rest of my life, and it's it was really weird. It also got me thinking, to like, wow, we're in a spot, we're in a situation where culturally, I actually had to stop and, you know, like, consider, should I touch this person or not, even though she's clearly in trouble and needs help. It's weird. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm gonna go towards, for the lady, was probably a bad thing. So, but I don't know. Who cares? I wasn't drowning. Anyway, so that's one part of the story. The other part, like, to me, the coolest part of the trip was going sports fishing. And I got like a ton of video of it, because Bailey documented the whole thing. We had to get up extremely early after we went, you know, out partying the night before. We went out drinking. It was a bad idea, but, you know, I was there. I had an all-inclusive. I was going to enjoy it. And we were going to go out fishing. Now, I've never gone sports fishing. I've gone fishing before, but I've never actually gone sports fishing, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All I knew, the only thing that I cared about is catching a marlin, because I know that that's where you can catch a marlin. Everybody and their mother told me, we're not going to catch a marlin. Don't worry about it. We're not going to do it. I spent my entire life trying to do this. It's not going to happen. And I'm like, but I want to catch a marlin, and I feel lucky. So I feel like this is going to be a lucky trip. So I am hopeful. I am energetic. I'm hopeful. I'm exhausted, but I want this to happen. And so we go out super early in the morning, and it's pretty beautiful. The owner of the boat was legit. Like, he was a legit captain, him and his kid. Well, his son is, you know, like a grown man, but, you know, his kid, like his child or whatever, like his son. Anyway, we're going out, and it's fun to be out there in the water. It's weird. Your mind kind of starts, like, you can see the video right now, like how it looks, you know, like the sun's coming up, the water, it looks so, it's extremely beautiful out there. Extremely beautiful. I had that part alone was worth the trip, you know, worth getting up in the morning, and plus you're having beers in the water with friends. You're having a good time. And there's the possibility of catching fish. Which, again, I don't really care that much about it, because I've never gone sports fishing before, didn't take it seriously. To me, it was just one of those things like, all right, sometimes you're on vacation, you go out on a boat with somebody, they give you this bottle of soda, and there's a line and a hook to it, and then that's how you pull in. No joke, the first time I went fishing, that's how they did it. Like, literally a bottle of soda that they tied a string around and a hook, and that's how you reeled them in. It's true story. Anyway, so we're out there, and you can see, you know, there's an iconic, what is it? There's like a rock. There's a rock formation here that's like pretty popular in Cabo. There you go. This is the one. It's like a rock bridge. It looks really cool. So just that alone, the boat trip was a lot of fun. There was also the chance of catching some fish. And, you know, I'm a competitive person, and, you know, there's a certain, you know, like a caveman thing of, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna like catch my own food and stuff like that, even though I don't really like eating fish, but whatever. So you're out there, and we got our bait, live bait. The whole interaction there is pretty cool, because there's some, as you're going out into the water, other dudes in smaller boats come up to your boat, and they're selling you fish that they caught that morning, so you use as bait, because you're trying to get bigger fish. And so it makes sense. It's like, it's a whole ecosystem, and it's fun, the way that the business is set up. In the meantime, I'm just enjoying my boat ride, and I'm happy that I'm not hungover. We're down in the water, and I'm documenting the whole thing. And basically, fishing is a whole lot of waiting. And I mean a whole lot of waiting. It can get really annoying, but fortunately, listen, I'm not driving the boat and I don't know what the hell they're doing, so I just basically took a really long nap most of the time. Or I just messed around with the camera. Anyway, we caught the first fish. Zach got the first fish out of there, and it takes you a while. Like, honestly, you have to fight with the fish. The first fish wasn't really that big. It ended up being like a tuna or something. And let me see if I have a picture of it. I think I already showed you the picture of Zach with the tuna, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one. It ended up being like that. I mean, which to me, that's the biggest fish I've ever seen anybody caught, IRL, like in real life. But I guess by their standards, it's like it's a puny little tuna, especially because tunas can weigh a few 100 pounds. Anyway, that's when it was my turn afterwards, and I ended up being like lucky enough that I caught what's it called, an El Dorado. Let me see if I can find the video here because I have it. Where is my video? Yeah, there you go. So I get the second one because we go one by one. And I ended up pulling, it's a baby El Dorado. It's not, well, again, it's the biggest fish I've ever caught, but it's not technically like a big by any standards. So this is the fish that they used to make mahi-mahi. So I ended up catching that one. It was my one and only catch out there. Look, it's me with a fish. I got it. I couldn't hold on to it. And so it kept wiggling out, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I decided to just squish the hell out of the thing. It's like, it's not going anywhere anymore. So that was my catch. Then we... what is it? Then afterwards, after me, the next catch that came up was the marlin. And so I believe it was Ernie who it was his turn. So he got to reel in the marlin, and it was a long fight. And I mean a long, long fight. And it was interesting because the boat starts going backwards, because you're kind of chasing the fish in a way. So, it's easier to reel in. And as you're going backwards, well, the back of the boat's not really designed for that, so water starts splashing in at times. It's a lot of fun. It's a fight. It's a fight. Like at points, I just stopped recording because, like, dude, this is just taking too long. See the water splashing there, splashing into the boat. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's excited. Everybody's psyched. We caught a marlin, and I was like, "Ha! I told you!" Like I felt it. I felt it. This trip felt lucky, and it was my first time out there. Beginner's luck. We ended up catching a marlin. And like that was the highlight of the whole thing, right? That was the highlight basically of the trip. We pull it up onto the boat, I think. Let me see if I have the video of it. No, I don't think I have the video. I might. No, okay, no. This is the wrong. This is definitely the wrong video. I think it was this one. The video of them pulling it up onto the boat. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So that's Captain Ernie and his son Ernie. Wait, no. Am I right? I don't even remember. I think those might be their names. And, everybody's really excited. They're just, everybody's recording everything because that's what you do now. And so they have to, take off the hook and stuff like that so that's not, still in the thing's mouth as they're grabbing it. I had no idea that the captain there's basically just holding it with his hand. So this is a marlin in the water, and he's just holding it with his hand because they've already taken off the hook. I don't know what else they're using there to hold it, but yeah, they just pulled it basically off of by the beak. I don't know if that's called a beak or a spike or whatever, but they did it. It's not a huge marlin by any chance, but it was like what, 40, 50, 60 pounds? I don't know. Zach said it was like 60 pounds. I don't know, not sure, but dude, that fish is extremely cool. Extremely cool. And so obviously I wanted to take a picture with it because it was my first time out there. We got a marlin. I want to have this, as proof that I was there because it's an experience and I was a part of it. And wow, damn it, it's jumping to videos. I'm sorry. Let me just see if I can find the picture here. So yeah, my pictures with the marlin. I pulling it back because they actually, it was funny. They had actually put it back in the water. And I was like, no, I want to take a picture with it. But the marlin kind of kept following the boat because it was tired. It'd been fighting for a really long time, so it was kind of tired. And so they managed to catch it and pull it back up so that I could take a picture with it, which is kind of a dick move, but whatever. It's like, when else am I going to be out with a marlin? When? I don't know. It was my shot. So I pulled it into the boat, and what happened? Pulled it onto the boat, and then I took, my picture with it. And where's the stupid picture? I guess it's over here. Yeah, so... I'm sorry. This whole thing's a mess. It's it's honestly probably a terrible way of doing this. I don't care. It's the easiest way, and it takes away like a whole lot of time for me. It makes my production job way easier. So I'm there with a marlin. It's really cool. it's an interesting. Now, I'm getting why people love it so much. I'm getting why people are so hyped about going out there, why they spend so much money on it. It's really a fun experience. The next thing that happened was extremely weird. So we're out there in the water, and now unfortunately, I hate that I don't have video of exactly because they saw it, I didn't see it because they were up top. They were like in the crow's nest. I didn't actually see it, but the next animal that we actually hooked was a 400-pound hammerhead shark. A 400-pound hammerhead. Zach sent me video of it a little bit, but it looks all blurry, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of like those videos of Bigfoot, and I can't really show it to anybody. But the next guy, you know, he's the one that got to fight with it, and so he fought it with it for like over half an hour until eventually the hammerhead chewed through the line and he got free. Now, we weren't going to be able to do anything with the hammerhead other than, you know, get it near to the boat, take a picture, and then throw it away. Well, and then let it go. But it was a fight, man. It was a fight, and it's fun. It's one of those things where you're like, hey, look, we had a hammerhead on the line. That's awesome. It's one of those things like I fought a hammerhead. So interesting stuff, fun all around. Like this is the closest probably that he got to bring it in because right under the boat. And then he just chewed through the line, and you can see here the line's already been chewed through. And so at that point, we're probably on the way back. We couldn't get anything. And by the way, the way that we got the marlin was insane, and I mean completely and totally insane. I'm gonna go back to the video of the marlin fight here. Let me see, just whatever. No. So the way that they caught the marlin is we're out there, we're out in the water, and all of a sudden in far a little bit further off behind us, we see a marlin jump. And so this guy Ernie, he already has a line ready. He grabs it, he throws it in the fish's direction, and the fish immediately grabs it. Like immediately, he had the hook, he had the fish on the line. He started setting everything up, you know, to get it pulled in. We didn't even know this guy had a freaking marlin on the line and didn't say anything. He was just like, all right, I caught a marlin. And then eventually I had to start pulling it in. He's like, okay, it's ready. Come here. And we're like, what? We've had it on the line this whole time. We thought we were trying to get it. But all right. So these two dudes are legit, extremely, extremely good at what they do. They're probably the best. Or you know what? The first I've ever met, but the people who I went with who know what they're doing, they said they're the best. So I'm just going to say that they're the best. Anyway. So we were on the way back. And on the way back, as we're pulling into the pier, we got a hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker is this. You can see this fat sea lion who knows like, hey, these boats have fish, and I like fish, and so he's just kind of like chilling at the back of the boat, and he wants some fish. So we throw him a piece of fish, and now this is one of those things that you kind of have to probably see the video, and again, YouTube at Super Dario World, if you want to see the video. But the fish, the sea lion's hanging on the back of the boat. And we throw a fish at it. Zach throws a dead fish at it. He catches it. Like you can see, boom, caught it. And then he lets go of it. It's like, this fish is dead. So you ever choosing beggars, man. Choosing beggars. This son of a bitch was like, you know what? That dead fish ain't good enough. I want a live one. And so Zach was like, all right, I'm gonna grab one from the bait. And as I'm recording this, I love it. I want to just look at his face. Look at what happens here. He's waiting for a live fish because he wants a live fish. And as he's waiting, somebody from the crow's nest throws a piece of bread at it and hits it right in the face. But it doesn't expect, like, I'll do it again. This is a piece of bread that gets thrown at it from the crow's nest. The seal is looking kind of in our direction because it's expecting a fish from us, and the crow's nest throws a piece of bread in his face. But it's like a bun. It's hysterical. His reaction is hysterical. Everything's hysterical. If you want to check it out, again, super dumb, stupid seal. So it's like, what the hell, man? You hit me in the face. And that's when Zach throws some fish. You can see the fish there thrown in the water, and the sea lion just goes in after and get it. It was weird. It was awesome. It was one of those things that I at first I didn't want to go. I was like, well, I'm going to pay a lot of money to go out and be outside in the sun trying to catch fish. I don't even eat fish. I don't even like fish. But, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It'll be an experience. It'll be an experience. I'll get to share it on my podcast, whatever. And it was fun. It's one of the funnest things that I probably ever done on vacation. It's an experience. It's wild. The adrenaline of actually catching something, reeling it in. It's fun. Like the caveman part of your brain is like, this is I'm providing for my people. It's fun. Another weird thing that happened is at the hotel, a group of tourists, dumbasses, they got caught in the elevator. So they had like 20 dudes in an elevator, and the elevator got stuck because there's a weight limit, and they were there stuck for a really long time. Really long time. Well, not like an hour or something, but like, I don't know. It's, you ever seen like a clown car where they just keep coming out? The same thing. Clowns just kept coming out of the elevator. It was ridiculous. And finally, like a little extra tidbit of here, Eddie, one of his meals, it was a cazuelita, and Eddie was like, he wasn't sure what to get, ended up suggesting that, and he's like, I don't know, it's risky. He ended up loving it because cazuelita, for the, just watch the video, you can see it's basically cazuelita, like a molcajete, but it's got all kinds of meat, avocado, cheese, nopales, so I ended up loving it. Like, honestly, my mouth started watering a little just watching it. It looks, it was really good. But anyway, that was my trip. As you can see, I had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. Took some fun videos. I didn't actually end up taking my my good camera, like because at first, like, I'm gonna stay at a hostel the first night. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to get it damaged or anything. And also, I was like, I'm on vacation. Do I really want to be working? Not really. So I left my good camera at home, but I think I got some good material. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy the videos that I've shown you. But I believe that's good. That's a good place to stop. The next time I'll tell you all about Florida and all that happened over there. Walt Disney World, Islands of Adventure. It was fun, man. It was really interesting experience. I'm not gonna go into the nitty gritty of it, but I'll tell you like what I thought about the parks, which ones were the best, what was the best ride, what's the best ride in each spot. It was interesting stuff. Hopefully you enjoy it. About the Everglades, I love the Everglades, by the way. But we'll get into Florida next time, probably tomorrow. We'll get into that. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario SDW on Instagram and at Super Dario World, streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.